Okay, I wasn't even gonna make this video, but Dom was like, make this video. So I listened to Dom, so I'm making this video. I'm gonna start this with something that is completely unrelated to the topic I'm about to talk about. I was listening to the instrumental versions of Dance Gavin Dance, and like, y'all, they're so good that you can hear Tillian's lyrics when he's not singing. Like the instruments play his voice, or he sings the instruments. I love them. That's my shameless Dance Gavin Dance plug. Okay. I got deep into thinking about, all right, so I've mentioned to you guys, and I haven't gotten into the story yet, and I know that I really should, but I haven't, and I know, sorry, about how I was always very religious growing up, and I'm not as religious as I was. I don't really even want to go into all the details of it, but I feel like you need to know some in order to understand where I'm about to come from. I did not really fit in when it came to church, and that was like the only community I had, because that's the community that you're only allowed to have, because you shouldn't be friends with or date people who aren't in church, right? So you have one community, and if you don't fit into it, you're real alone, right? You're real alone. So now I do some things that are against the rules of my religion. I hesitate to call them rules even now, because they're not rules. You don't have to, you can go to church if you don't follow them. People go all the, we follow the Bible very specifically. So girls wear skirts, girls don't cut their hair, that kind of stuff. I'm not going to get into all the details now. And I'm not even bashing church in general. Like, even if it wasn't my, I'm not, there are some truly beautiful people, especially at my church specifically. My leadership was always, and still is, the most amazing people I know. And I know that without going into detail, it's going to be a little bit hard for me to give you the full scope of what I mean. And I know that some of it can be taken out of context. So I'm not in any way bashing this. This was just, I am very well aware that this just happened to be my experience. And so now I engage in some behaviors that were always who I was. I've always been this person, but I just kind of sat on them really hard, because it was like, they already don't like you enough. Like, if you can just be a little bit more perfect, then it'll be a little bit better. Let me use my narrator overtone. Narrator. It didn't get better. How was that? Was that good? It didn't make it any better. Being perfect, it didn't fix the problem. So now, I wear pants. I say fuck a lot. I wear makeup. I sleep with my boyfriend, and I'm pretty open about it. Sometimes probably too open, but I think it's funny. So again, the unfollow button, it's like right at the top of my page. If you don't like it, don't look. And that's the point I'm about to make. If you don't like it, don't look. If you don't like it, don't look. If you don't like what I post on my page, not on your page, if you don't like what I post on my, then don't look. Don't look. I will not, and again, be asked to block anyone else because they might not like what I posted. They don't like what I posted on my page. And that sounds kind of belligerent, and that sounds kind of rebellious, and that sounds kind of, all those words that scary Christians use to make you feel like you're the odd one out. It's not a rebellious thing. I have been, asked or made to feel that, like, I should probably, like, remove whatever. It's not even really people have really outright said to me, Like, it's not like people have messaged me Some people have messaged me. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. I know from 2 decades of experience with it what the expectation is. It sounds belligerent. It sounds like I'm being like obnoxious, like, come look at it then. Like, you don't like fuck? Well, it's all up on my page. You know? And 5-10 years ago, that might have been the person I was. It might have been more of a, everything I do now is to stick it to somebody who doesn't even care. But I was really methodical with everything that I did. I was really, really careful. I took it really, really slow because what I really wanted to do was know that I wasn't going to look back and regret it because I let the pendulum swing too far the other way, and I was just wilding and reveling in that. I'm not that person anymore. I don't really want to stick anything to anyone. I truly am so tired in my soul, and the only thing I want around me is that which wants to be around me. So no, it's not a sticking it to them kind of thing. It's more like a, you know what? I was real alone for a real long time, and I was lost and I was drowning. And there was not one person I knew who had gone through this and made it out the other side. I know I'm not that special. So I know that this has happened to other people. But we don't talk about it. We don't talk about our sin. In fact, we talk about how sins, there's no worse sin than another. But in our minds, we all know, right? We all have our list of sins that are worse than another. But the reality is when you take the mask off, the worst sins are the ones you can't hide. There's a reason why abortion is so high in Christian communities. Abortion is a major sin. But you know what else is a major sin? Pregnancy when you're not married. Ask me, which of those two is easier to cover up and hide? I'll give you a few seconds to just think about it. Hidden sins are the easiest sins. Hidden sins are the better sins. They're the better ones. You know why? Your image doesn't have to get tarnished. You can still look perfect. And we're dying. We are sitting on pews where we're supposed to be going to be watered. And we're dying because we can't talk about a fucking thing. We can't talk about any bad thoughts we had. We can't talk about anything that might have been happening to us. We can't talk about anything we're going through because then it's out there. Guess who's not perfect anymore? Guess who was never perfect to begin with? You're not. I'm not. And I love that now. Because you know what? Like I wasn't special enough to be the first, I'm not special enough to be the last. There's going to be another person who's going to feel like this, who's going to be drowning. And you know what? It's sheer dumb luck that I wasn't dead from this. It was lucky. It was lucky that I had the right tools at the right times that kept me from... Because when you're that lost, anything is preferable. There is literally you have literally no reason. Like you wake up in the morning and it's like another walk down a long hallway, a dimly lit hallway, no doors, no windows, just walking, can't go anywhere else. So when that boy or that girl finds my page and sees my videos and sees my posts and they realize how good I am now, that it was okay in the end. See, I would get fucking furious at people when they would tell me, you know it's gonna be okay, right? It got to the point where I literally was just like, yeah, I'm not arguing with you. You don't know, it's not gonna be okay. Because I had literally never seen any example of it ever being okay. Do you realize that I had never seen an example of it ending up okay? So what was I basing this on? Right now it had been ages and it was still not okay, so No, it's not going to be okay. But see, now it is okay. Now it's better than okay. Now I have a life that I don't dread waking up in the morning anymore. And now when that kid finds my page, they'll know it'll be all right eventually. I was lucky. And maybe without someone like me, they wouldn't have been so lucky. But now they'll be okay. And they can hang on until it is okay. Because it's so fucking worth it. It was so worth it. Every bad thing that I didn't even want to be happy anymore because it was just going to get bad again. And everyone's like, yeah, but that's the point. That's life. I'm like, then I'm done. Life is not, I'm not interested. Check, please. I'm out. But now it's like, I'm glad I went through negative things. I'm so glad it brought me here. I'm so glad it brought me by my best friends. I'm so glad it brought me Dom. I'm so glad it brought me being happy. And so if you don't like what I post on my page, fucking block me. Fucking block me.